challenge CPS to raise questions to them directly. For me, I've been at the where you can testify, and I know Suzanne Oakland had asked, after I testified, they had asked CPS a question, and the response came back as that it was just a comment from a disgruntled grandparent. So now I'm labeled as a disgruntled grandparent, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Because when you're testifying for a reason.
Yeah.
And as a purpose. So now every time I have to go in there, if I'm testifying, I have to redo my testimonies to avert that label of a disgruntled grandparent.
And yeah. And now you as a grandparent do have rights. So you're not just going to say my rights were violated, I didn't have the placement preference I was supposed to. I didn't get
our house was inspected, but our house was denied because it didn't look as nice as the other grandparents. That is the reason we were denied.
You were denied a foster care certification?
Yeah, for our grandkids because our house did not look as nice as the other grandparents.
Wow, you should have had an appeal right in your denial notice.
No, it was in 2007. So it was before the law went into effect.
Gosh, but I would think that even in 2007 you would have had an appeal right if you're denied.
That was what
foster
the
care
social worker had told me was our house did not look as nice as the other grandparent, which is the house that they were living in before.
Oh, so the grandparent was also a relative.
Yeah, and that's where the kids were when the threat and harm began.
Oh, wow.
That's the one where their investigators say that the case shouldn't be there. He was kicked off the case.
And they were put back in the same house.
Wow. And the original investigator had no problem with our house. But then when it was transferred over to another social worker, and I pushed saying, how come we're not being checked out, she finally came. So I think her decision was pretty much already set. Her mind was already set, well, it was already placed. She just did it as an act. But she pointed out some things that were just really insignificant, all it took was just a 5-minute patch, things like that. My husband has a boat on our yard, and we discovered, when we had those 40 days of rains a couple years ago, we discovered that there was like a hole, because there used to be a cesspool under there. And he found it, he filled it in, but then the 40 days of rain just created that, the hole to kind of like cave in, and I called, where they control all the cesspools and stuff. She told me it's just standard, you just gotta keep trying to backfill it in, because it's bound to happen. And I told her, well, we didn't concrete it yet,
Yeah.
But it was underneath the boat, and I actually crawled underneath that boat to measure how deep it was. It was 8 inches. My dog has to be on all fours crawling on his stomach to get underneath that boat. And that was another reason why we couldn't get, because of that 8-inch hole.
Wow. Well,
they made no comment about a 5-foot retaining wall on the side of the house. They made no comment about that.
Well, you should request a hearing. How long ago was this?
It was in 2007.
Oh.
So it was before all that.
You got a written notice?
No.
That you were denied?
Yeah. We got no notice that we were denied, which is horrible.
You actually have applied to be certified as a foster parent?
When they were taken into CPS custody, we said yes. We will be considered.
Did you fill out the application to be a certified foster parent?
They never gave us anything.
Okay, yeah, well, it's not, maybe, I don't know if it's too late, but if you can still do that today. You should do that. You should go, you need to apply to be certified as a foster parent. That's step 1. So I would say do that, maybe do it now, And then if you get denied, you have an appeal right, and appeal it. Because until you have that certification, that's the trouble. CPS will say, well, you're not even certified, I'm not even talk to you. That's the hard part. Yeah. That was a situation, was an emergency one, where the parents signed that form. But they put them in before.
Always with their grandparent. That's where all the abuse is at in that home.
Yeah, so it doesn't make sense for them to put them back into the same house where they're supposed to come from. It's kind of strange.
Huh, okay. But yeah, so I'd advise you to apply to be certified as a foster parent, step 1. Yeah, at least then you have a ground to stand on at that point. So some of the other bills, there's just, again, more appropriation bills for group homes for foster girls and foster care services. On the next page is child support enforcement, some laws passed there. Kind of more it states to conform with Hawaii law, federal law. There was some federal, the funds from President Obama, stimulus funds went down to support CPS. And then there were a couple of resolutions that some of you might have worked on, been aware of. A resolution, do you all know what a resolution is versus a bill? A resolution, so these last two things you'll see, they're listed as HCR. That stands for House Concurrent Resolution. And what that means, and as opposed to the other one above, you see it's this HB number, that's House Bill. A House Bill is like the bill we just went over. That's mandatory, that becomes law that everybody must follow. Now, on the other hand, a resolution is not. A resolution is simply a statement by the legislature saying, we, the legislature, urge that, you, DHS, or CPS take this action, or, we, the Congress can take resolutions, we, as Congress, apologize to the Hawaiian people for the legal overthrow. That's a resolution. It's not a bill, so it's not something that is forced or mandated on anybody, and that's the difference. But nevertheless, it has a strong impact because it's something official. It's an official statement from the legislature.